welcome to this episode of The Small Farm Life. Today I'm here with Lincoln.
Hi.
So Lincoln here has ridden this 50 this year for the entire year, your
Yes.
first year racing, correct?
Yes.
He started November of 2018 and raced this entire year. Now, he did what? Motocross on the mini track
Yeah.
and flat track.
Yes.
And he ended up as a champion in both of his classes on the mini track. And he took third place in District 6 on the flat track. It's pretty impressive, huh?
Yeah.
So this here is his trophy haul. You know, there's 2 championship trophies over there in the corners. He's got his mini track trophies on top from Pagoda. He's got his flat track trophies below them. And then up there is from 2019 last winter and this winter at Switchback MX in Butler, Pennsylvania. So, how did this bike perform for you this year?
It did really good.
What did you like the most about it?
It didn't throw me off the bike anything. It wasn't.
Pretty smooth?
Yeah. It's pretty smooth.
He did have one hard get off at Dutchman MX. He was on their vet track and there was a tabletop jump, and he actually was attempting to clear his first tabletop jump back in probably April.
Yeah.
And this was before I had adjusted his rear spring on the bike, and when he landed, the bike actually hopped, but it hopped down the hill, so when he landed at the bottom of the jump, the bike went one way. Actually, you had saved it,
Yeah.
but a turn came right up, and you just hit the front brake, and the bike actually washed out from under him.
And then when I cased it, my back just went crack, and I'm like, my back, and I just had no choice but to tip the bike.
Yeah, so that was the first time you'd gotten injured. And you really weren't hurt too bad, were you? You got back up and rode,
Yeah.
but nothing happened to the bike, did it? The bike did good. So we got you a new spring, and then what? You haven't had that problem since, have you?
Yeah.
He's been pretty good. Now, he's not the fastest kid. He doesn't try to be the fastest kid. I call him Steady Eddie because he really likes to ride about the same speed everywhere he goes. But his form has gotten much better. He stands. He's got his knees pinned, his chest is out, elbows up in the attack position, right? Still working on the ruts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, the bike has been really good to us this year, has it not?
Mm-hmm.
We had one issue. It was a crank seal went bad,
It just
and
blew up.
well, it didn't blow up. Your bike just smoked like a locomotive all the way around the track, right? So Lincoln made one lap around the track and knew something wasn't right. Smoked the entire place. Looked like a foggy day on a beautiful sunny day.
Yeah.
Lincoln made it a foggy day at the track. So we pulled it off, loaded it up, took it home, and I always measure what I put in for trans fluid. And this time I measured it coming out, and I had just replaced the trans fluid that night. So he only went one lap around Pagoda, and after that first lap, we loaded it up, brought it home. There was no leaking anywhere, and I measured the trans fluid coming out, and I put in 200 cc's, and it came out with 150 cc's. So we took the bike right around July 4th time frame to Solid Performance here, and which is KTM dealer where we bought the bike, and really good guys over there.
Yeah.
And the bike only had 20 hours on it at the time, and we know that we only had a 30-day warranty on it, so our 30 days was way up because we bought it back in November of 2018. It's a leftover 2018 bike, and we took it in solid, and they told us that it would probably be covered because KTM likes to take care of their customers, and we were like, awesome, because I was going to just rebuild the bottom end. I was just going to put a new bottom end in it because if I'm going to take a crank seal out and put a new one in, I might as well do the entire bottom end. And they said, no, let us fix it. I said, okay. So they told me it's done about 3 weeks later because it was over July 4th, so it was just a bad time to have taken it in. And we got it back right before his next mini track race, which was good. So we had gotten the bike back, and they had charged us $211. And I looked at him, I said, I thought you guys were going to take care of me. And he says, well, we didn't find anything wrong with it, and we replaced the crank seal. And I said, there's absolutely no way you could have not found something wrong with it, as there was 50 cc's of trans fluid missing.
Yeah.
So, but they insisted nothing was wrong. I paid the money. It is what it is. I just learned, Now, $211 is a lot cheaper than replacing the bottom end. That would have been like $300, $400, and then me to spend 5 or 6 hours doing it. So it's better to have them do it. I was just a little disappointed because I really thought they were going to take care of us at 20 hours. But like I said, the warranty said 30 days, so I clearly knew that there was a very good chance it wasn't going to happen. So it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
But other than that, the bike has been amazing. We have 62.7 hours on it. I've put 5 spark plugs in it, and I change the trans fluid after every single race, after every race day. I shouldn't say every race. So they'll practice like Saturday and then race on Sunday, then I'll change the fluid. We usually put about not even an hour on it, sometimes an hour and a quarter on it. So the fluid gets changed very regularly. I repacked the silencer once. It got pretty loud. I think I got it wet and it got deteriorated. But that's it. I mean, this thing has been an amazing machine. And we love KTM because this KTM did good by us. And there's nothing else out there to buy at his age level, 7, 8. I mean, we could buy a 4-stroke, can't really race him. Could have bought a 65. We actually have one, but he has only ridden for a year. The PW he was too old for. There's just nothing out there besides KTM and Husqvarna, and they're exactly the same thing with different colors on them. So we decided to go with KTM. Now here's the hard part for me. You're KTM for life now, aren't you?
Yeah.
See, Yamaha, Kawasaki, Honda, Suzuki, all you big boys. This little 8-year-old, now 9-year-old, has only ridden KTM, and he's not changing. He doesn't want to change. He doesn't care if he gets sponsored or not. He wants to ride KTM, don't you?
Yes.
And I'll be honest, after my experience with this KTM, I'm on board with it. He has a 65 back here. You've ridden, what, 5 races maybe on it?
Yeah.
It's been amazing, hasn't it?
Yeah.
We have a suspension on KB5. The suspension is amazing. He loves that, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
It's not the Air Force, it's the 2016. I bought it used, and then I tore it down and rebuilt it, and he absolutely loves it. And now all these parts sitting over here on the other side of Lincoln, I don't know if you can see them all, but we're in the process of building another 65. But that one's going to be a special one because it's a race bike. And he got it from a kid that went to Loretta's and didn't win. But he did good, I guess. And it has a Lynx motor, and we have the suspension right now at KB5. They're putting a new suspension on for us. We have the frame getting powder coated. I'm turning that bike into a brand new bike for him. It has a 2018, and I don't know how many hours it has on it, but we're excited to have that thing rebuilt
Well, I think the thing's up here.
and have a race bike.
Yeah, thing's right here.
Lincoln. We don't know. The wire was cut.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're going to rebuild that one. And being that it already had a works motor on it, it was a lot cheaper to buy it with a works motor than go to Solid Performance, buy a brand new bike, put a new suspension on it, then send the motor out and get redone when it was already done. So I'm going to tear the motor down, make sure it's correct. If the motor's correct, I'm going to put it back together. I just want to make sure there's no play in the bottom end. I'm going to change the piston and rings, and I think we'll be pretty fast. What do you think?
Yeah.
So he rode it before I tore it down. It had blown fork seals and a bunch of other stuff. And what did you say about it?
It was pretty good.
It didn't seem any different than that one, though, did it?
Well, no.
You couldn't tell, though. We only rode around the pasture.
Like once.
Yeah, we didn't ride at the track or anything.
Yeah.
But you liked it, though, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're excited.
And it was pretty slick that day.
Yeah. It was very slick that day. I didn't even pull one of these bikes out to ride with you, did I? So there you are, KTM. We love you. The reason we love you is because you're the ones that have bikes that can start 7 and 8-year-olds out on. Produce a great product. We absolutely love this bike, and we can't wait to race a whole season on a 65 now and hope for the same luck. I don't know if you want to call it luck or experience, the same great experience we had on the 50, on the 65. And I'm going to rebuild this top end. He has a race. He's racing the Switchback Series for the winter on the 50 and the 65. They allowed him to do it due to his age. So we're going to race it this coming weekend. and then we're going to tear it down, and I'm going to put a new top end in it because we'll be around 63, 64 hours. I don't know that it needs it. It still runs great. I just feel like we're getting close to the 80 hours, and he does race, so it's probably smart to replace it. Clutch is doing great. There's no slipping. There's no anything. So we're going to keep the clutch in there, and when we're done with it in 3 more races, somebody's going to have a great bike. Huh? When we sell this thing, they're going to have a great bike. Yeah. So I had a lot of fun this year watching you race, being there with you throughout the entire thing, fixing your bikes, cleaning your bikes, doing everything I could for you. I did have fun. And KTM, we want to thank you again. And hopefully we'll have some other sponsors other than Handy Helpers. That'll be nice. Solid did give us some stickers. So we put them on that 65 there. Even though it was a used bike, we didn't get it from there. But we still want to give a shout out to Solid because they did sell us this bike and they did fix it. And they're good dudes over there, aren't they? Pretty nice guys. So we want to make sure we give them a shout out. I got some more stickers for when we get the new 65 done. We're going to put the exact same front end on that bike, so that way it's Solid Performance is still getting the shout out from us. So that's everything from this episode, guys. Thanks for watching. Is there anything we forgot?
No.
Oh, how do you like these micro bars?
Oh yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah. So we'll have a review on those. He's got those on the 65 as well. We're gonna put them on the other 65 too. So thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.